We continue looking at the big headlines today with Professor Ogola and Julius Ruto, MP KSS. And we're still looking at the big headline on the impeachment of Governor Sakaja, Governor for Nairobi, which was postponed yesterday by MCAs following a string of meetings between the members of the County Assembly and the President at State House, and the other meetings, one at the current residence of Raila Odinga and the other one at the Jomo at the Upper Hill office, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation offices here in Nairobi. And Professor, I know you may want to respond to the MP, but before that, it is rare, and you all agree, that we've not seen this level of intervention at the County Assembly level. Probably impeachments that have been there before have been allowed at least to proceed to the Senate. And from there, politics may come in, party leaders may influence the senators to move one way or the other. But are we saying that these leaders, William Ruto and Raila Odinga, given the kind of pronouncements they made with regard to Parliament, that there's a lot of corruption, and they quoted an impeachment process concerning one governor, that may have created such bad blood between the two levels, that the President and his compatriot, Raila Odinga, are not comfortable enough for this to get to that level? They'd rather handle the County Assembly. Actually,
if you ask me, if you look at how Sakaja was elected, remember Azimio took Sakaja to court that he's not qualified to run because he had no degree. I think that's on record, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And Raila Odinga was the one who was leader of Azimio. I was in Azimio at that time. I knew how much conversation were going in the corridor. They wanted, Azimio wanted Igade, and they thought that by putting Sakaja to the sword, that he has no degree, would actually be a very good thing for Igade. In fact, why they were very adamant to this. Now, when you come to your question, what is at stake for Raila Odinga and William Ruto is the answer to why they cannot even allow it to begin. The deputy governor is Muchiri. Muchiri, you may like what you like, but you might find that maybe he would be with the opposition of some kind. Like if he becomes governor, if Sakaja...
Actually, this impeachment was for both of them.
Yes.
Interestingly.
Yeah, but I'm trying to say Nairobi is such an important thing for them. But also, there was likelihood that Muchiri could survive. So I'm trying to tell you, he would become a governor instantly. And in fact, if I look at things more or less move towards Sakaja, not more for Muchiri. And could you imagine if Muchiri is the governor? I don't know, but I think there's some information I have that Muchiri would be more working with Wamunyoro, isn't it? This could be a very big shame for the president in Nairobi. Secondly, for Raila Odinga, during Raila Odinga AU forays, some information has it that Sakaja was actually paying the bills. I mean, he would be anywhere where Raila is going. I'm sure you know that we travel here. Sakaja was in the plane with Raila Odinga. That's why even before Raila traveled to Addis Ababa for the election, Raila organized a convention for him in Bomas and stated that 2027 he will stand behind Sakaja. That created even some rift in ODM. Now you see Babu Owino was very mad because Babu Owino thought that Raila, as his father, would actually not support Sakaja but support him. So in that arrangement, Raila Odinga has been protecting Sakaja from very many often times. There's a time when Robert Alai used to bash him, isn't it? Robert Alai confessed in the media that he received a call from BAMBA and told him, leave that guy alone. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot was at stake if Sakaja was even to go through this word of impeachment. And they also add the fact, we talked about the fact that it will take a lot of effort to save Sakaja at the Senate. So why do you wait? Like, for example, Fred, when the policeman arrests you on the road and tells you you have made a mistake, and instead of accepting to go to the to the police station, where now the process, another level, you've been booked with OB, you might actually sort out this one on the road. Like Jesus says, talk to your enemy before actually reach court. So maybe this was the way to try to divert that attention and ensuring that this is nipped in the bud. And I still repeat that the structure of Nairobi County, look, the first governor was Kidero. He never saw second term. Then Sonko came in. What happened to Sonko? He didn't even finish the second term. Now we're having Sakaja struggling actually to finish this term. In fact, Sakaja can be impeached more easily than any other person because the people controlling this place. What is the implication? The implication of these governors who cannot perform is that now they have to spend the money that should go to development. That's why Nairobi is not working.
Okay.
I have just seen an article here in Standard, something like 1 year ago, where they said that the sewage system was supposed to work. Sakaja campaigned on let Nairobi work. And you will live in Nairobi. How is it working? The sewer system, isn't it? The amount of money Nairobi receives, the highest allocation among all counties. And guys are not seeing the impact of this money on the ground. And therefore, Nairobians are actually very bitter with Sakaja.
I'm more concerned right now about the kind of influence that the president, and even confidence that the president and Raila Odinga have in the houses of parliament, the national houses. That's the National Assembly and the Senate. We saw just before you went on recess, Bwana Ruto, that even passing that motion on privatization of KPC, Kenya